Story time on how I found out my best friend of 5 years, my baby's godmother, actually hated me our entire 5 years of being friends. And yesterday, she confessed to me after 5 years she never liked me, she hated my guts the entire time, and why you should vet your friendships just the same way that you vet your relationships. Me and this girl was friends since 2020 during the pandemic, like early 2020. We met on social media. I think it was even 2019. We hit it off real well. We had the same interests, I'll just say that. We didn't officially meet up in person until I moved to Atlanta in 2021 because she lives in South Carolina and I was in New Jersey, New York. So obviously coming to South Carolina was not in the plans. We building a friendship. We're getting real close. I get married in 2021. She was already married for 2 years when we met. So our husbands met. They got super close. We had this whole like family group chat. We all close and da. Right? We are like peas in the pod, all of us. I say peas in the pod, I mean families meeting each other, hanging out at each other's houses. We even felt comfortable when we found out we were pregnant in 2022 that they were going to be our new baby's godmother and godfather. So this all is catching me by surprise. Had to give you a little backstory. Yesterday, I get a call, ring, 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 ring. Catches me off guard, completely off guard. Homegirl says, hey, I have something to tell you. I've been feeling this way for so long. But mind you, as of recently, I've been telling my husband, I feel like something is off between me and her. Like, you know when you have that feeling, ladies? Like, you know when you know. You have a feeling something is off. But everything kept flying over my head. So she asked, can she call me? We get on the phone. And she's like, all right, I got something to tell you. For the past 4 or 5 years, I've never liked you. I've always been jealous of you. I've always hated you. You can predict. My mouth was like, what? I literally kept saying, what? What? What are you talking about? We were just planning to see each other next month. All of us, our families getting together and having a good time for the holidays. And this is how you were feeling the entire time? But that's not even the half of what she had to say. She goes on to say that she was always praying against the things that I was praying for. So when I was telling her that my husband and I were praying for a baby, and this was 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, when I was telling her these things, she said that she was praying and hoping that we wouldn't conceive. She was praying and believing that when we were pregnant, the baby wouldn't be born. When I was pregnant around like 26, 27 weeks, when you get tests for gestational diabetes, I was actually diagnosed with gestational diabetes. I had to retake the test. So, you call your friend, you tell your friend, whatever, like, hey, like, pray for me and all these things. Girl said that she was praying that the opposite would happen of what we wanted, which is, of course, for the gestational diabetes to be removed so that I can have a healthy pregnancy. If you know anything about gestational diabetes in itself, you know that that's nothing to play with when you are pregnant at all. So the fact that she found that fun and joyful, and I still called her best friend, and she knew that this baby was going to be her godchild, and she felt comfortable feeling that way, blows my mind. So anyways, the whole time we were on the phone, I'm just listening. I'm just quiet because I'm trying to like take in everything that she's saying because I actually can't believe that these things were going over my head. One time while I was pregnant, it was November of 2022 and I was due March 2023. I came to her because I had a feeling like something was off. And again, like when you feel something is off, you really need to take heed and pray about whatever it is that you feel is off of your spirit. So I said something was off. I addressed it with her and we agreed that we both can do better as friends. I should have took that as a sign right then and there to dead this friendship. But she assured me that what I was feeling off was not the case. She was genuinely there to be my friend. The same time I felt this way was the same time I had the gestational diabetes and she felt a way about me being pregnant, I suppose. She continued on to say that she's always felt competition between us. Whenever I started my photography business, she felt competition in there. Whenever she seen that we were essentially making money moves, I'll just say it like that, she felt some sort of way about that. So last year, December, November, I don't know if you've seen on my TikTok page, if you scroll down, I shared that we were facing eviction, right? She knew about that and her husband knew about that because we were all close. We're like family. So like we're going to the people that we're the most closest to pray for us and to cover us, that of course that we don't end up on the street with a 9-month-old. This girl prayed that we would not have a home to live in. She prayed, she said this out of her own mouth. She was just hoping that we would end up homeless with the 9-month-old that is her godchild, and then still had the audacity to open up her home for us to live there, even though she was feeling these things. She said that it made her feel like they were doing better than us. This is a best friend, somebody that you're confiding in. I was almost like dishing information for her to pray against on me. Did it for me wasn't the fact that she didn't like me this whole entire time. It's that I gave her access to my child, the one that I had prayed for to be here, and I entrusted her to come into agreement with me for this baby. But she had a whole separate agenda this entire time of canceling his life, and I entrusted her to be his godparent. I'm gonna leave it here because she says way more. If you want to hear a part 2, then let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna just leave one thing for you ladies. Vet your friendships the same way that you are going to vet your relationships. The same way that you're going to pray and seek God about if this is the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. You need to be praying and asking God, is this a friendship I need to be pouring myself out into? You need to pray and ask God for discernment when we're sharing things with friends. That is women. Sometimes we just want to get all close because we like the same things. We like content creation. We all just gonna be friends. We like photography. We just all gonna be friends. And no, like ask God, what is the kingdom purpose here for our friendship? Is this somebody I'm gonna do life with? Is this somebody I should share my deepest, darkest secrets with? Is this somebody that I can trust with my entire life? Is this somebody I could bring around family? The list goes on. You need to vet your friendships the same exact way that you're going to be vetting your relationships. And that's one thing that I took away from this. And these things for sure would never happen again. Well, all in all, girl, I'm just excited that God has removed the one thing that I knew was a hindrance in my life. And now I can just move forward with what God has for me in this season. But overall, I just feel like this is all crazy. This is like a movie. I can't believe it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
I just ended an 11-year friendship, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what happened as I straightened my hair. This wasn't a hard decision. Some relationships I end, I cry and I grieve, but I really didn't with this one because it was such an easy decision to do. Honestly, it feels like a huge weight lifted off my shoulder just because of the inconsistency of our relationship within the past 11 years. A little backstory. We met in college in the dorms. We were just kind of like walking by each other, and then somebody had asked if we wanted to go to this college party at one of the off-campus apartments. We happened to pass each other. We looked at each other. This was our first interaction. And then we decided like we were going to go together. And then we kind of instantly became party friends at that moment. Fast forward, we go to this party and she gets absolutely blacked out wasted. And then she dropped out of college. She joined the military, went to Japan, and then I haven't heard from her. I go and I look for her on Facebook. I find that she went to the military Japan. I reach out to her and we reconnect. And then when she comes and she visits California, I drive to go see her. Fast forward a little bit later, I'm with my man. We moved into our apartment. I get a phone call late at night. Bartender calls me, says that we're closing. Your friend's wasted. You got to come pick her up and all that. So that's pretty much our legit of our relationship. That's when I kind of ended our friendship and said, hey, like, you really got to control your drinking. I can't really do this whole like babysitting, like picking you up and you getting blackout wasted and stuff like that. I'm not going to be that person that every time you get into trouble, you want me to bail you out. Like, I was just too grown for that. Now I have 2 kids. She doesn't like message me like Merry Christmas or Happy Mother's Day or Happy Birthday or anything like that. It wasn't until she found out I was pregnant with baby number 3 when she reached back out. And it had been a year, I think, since I really talked to her. She reached back out. She said she was pregnant too. Our due dates were around the same time. And she got me like a gift that said, oh, you're going to be like the auntie or whatever. She commented on my Instagram post and said that she like claimed to be the auntie of my kids when I haven't heard from her. So I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, how can you be an auntie when you haven't really even like met my second baby? And the first baby you did meet, you couldn't even hold her. You were disgusted by the fact that you were holding a baby. Okay, so she stays in a different state. She calls me. She tells me she's pregnant. I'm super excited for her. She kind of tells me like the basis of this guy who she's with. She said we barely met each other. Like we only known each other for 2 months. We said we love you. I found out I was pregnant. They're gonna figure it out. So I was really happy for her. Like, figure that shit out. You know what I mean? She didn't tell her mom and dad because her mom and dad are pretty traditional. I was like one of the first people she told. She told her sister and then she told me. Let me remind you, I haven't talked to her in a year. Like, I was happy, but I'm not really sure the type of friend that she needed because I'm also a realist. Like, I'm a Sagittarius, so of course I'm going to like give you my legit advice, but I really do think like you should probably like talk to your parents, especially like being in your second trimester and being about 22 weeks pregnant. It's probably time to tell your parents if you want some type of support, because I'm not going to give you the support that you kind of need. Start talking, and then the conversation kind of came up. I just told her like, hey, like, don't take this the wrong way. Just remember, like, when you have a baby in a different state, when your family like is in California and you're staying in a different state, and the baby daddy signs the birth certificate, it's going to be kind of hard to move if you guys decide that it's not going to work out. You know what I mean? Because they haven't like got to know each other. If you try to get up and be like, I want to like stay with my mom, I need family, I need like family support, and you get up and try to move and maybe he doesn't want to do that, like you can't get up and move your baby across state lines. He will have to give written consent, and you can't like go and live somewhere else. You guys made a baby together and he has just as much right to this baby that you do. So I was just telling her, if you want to live there and you want to make it work and stuff, that's fine. Yeah, she didn't like that. She was like, are you saying that we're not going to work out? That's so negative. You're so pessimistic, or blah, blah, blah. And it started going off. I was like, it's not even that deep. Like, there's so much to becoming a parent. And if you haven't, like, even lived with that person, like roommating, you got to figure out career. You haven't stayed in the state long enough to even qualify for maternity leave or any type of disability after you get birth. It's going to be hard. When you have a baby, you die to your old self and you become a mom. Then you have postpartum. We're going to give birth in about 4 to 5 months. You might want to start thinking about what that's going to look like financially and in your relationship. Then she attacked my family. She attacked my business. She said my whole social media was a front, that I'm really unhappy with my life. She called me names. And I just realized, you know what? I don't need that shit. If you want somebody to be honest, I'm your girl. You know, I thought like we were friends. There's a reason why you haven't told your parents about this pregnancy, because you're probably afraid they're probably going to say the exact same thing. Here's the thing. We had a very inconsistent relationship. She would drop off the face of the planet for years and then decide to come back, typically when I have a lot of success and growth in my life. She started following me on TikTok and started liking all my posts. I don't hear from her. Like, she doesn't like message me or anything like that. When she came to visit me in San Diego, she just wanted to party when I had my first baby, and then when I let her hold my baby, she was disgusted at the fact that she was holding a child. Now she's a mom and she wants my support, but she doesn't want to tell her parents. I'm going to give her very legitimate like advice and problems that come up when you have a baby, especially when you're not in a mature relationship. I'm not being judgmental, I'm just being realistic. And as one of her true friends, I have to tell her what her mom is probably going to tell her. But when you call me names, attack my business, attack my husband, attack my kids, that's crossing a line. God puts people in our lives for a season, and our season is definitely over. It's done. I started this platform based off of mental health and postpartum. I have a very loyal following, so this is not fake. With that being said, I don't think I was wrong in anything that I was telling her. I think she was projecting her own fears out of anger onto me. And you have to be fearful. I mean, it's a scary thing becoming a mom, especially when you're away from your family with the guy you just met. So I wished her the best, and then I just blocked her and everything, to be honest. I just don't need that kind of energy. I have so many great things like happening this year. I just got approved for like 30 plus samples. My TikTok is growing. My Instagram is growing. I'm making a lot of money, and I just don't really need that in my life. You have to be careful, because sometimes the enemy will send sleeper cells into your circle. You think you're reconnecting with that person, but you're really not. They will come around the most like successful times of your life and try to throw you off your guard. I knew it was happening. I knew it, so I was just like, nah, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get the fuck out. Bye, peace, good luck. I know you'll make it work. Call your mom and dad if you need support and help, but don't call me. Bye. Is that mean? Nah, I don't think so.
Now I finally understand why people say no new friends. Because I just had this girl who I met a little over, I'll say about 2 months ago, just break up with me. Okay, so let me preface this by saying I met this girl at the end of January after I left court that day, when y'all see me at Bonefish having a great time celebrating. We're the same age, in the same age group. She's in her 30s, I'm in my 30s. She has one kid, I have 4. You know, we had similar interests and things like that. And obviously we both like coming to Bonefish or whatever, doing happy hour, like, you know, whatever. We had a few similarities, and we started talking at the bar, and, you know, it was a little bit earlier in the day, so it's kind of rare to see somebody just out celebrating on a random day in the middle of the day like this. So it's like, oh, like, what are you doing here? Da 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 da. She sparked the conversation with me, okay? You talk to me first. So, anyway, also, a little backstory. I have been kind of skeptical. Like, I want to make new friends. Like, I live in a new area now. I'm far away from my friends. I know nobody out here. I want to build my own community. I'm always open to, like, when women talk to me, like, I want girlfriends. Like, I just want more girlfriends. So anyway, when she started the conversation, I was, you know, open to it. And then also, this is the other thing. I'm a little paranoid about making girlfriends because I had a situation like a year or so ago, 2 years ago now probably at this point, where this girl on Instagram started to like befriend me, and I am a true girl's girl. Like, I love the girls, okay? If it's a girl, I'm here for it. Super open whenever girls communicate with me. So this girl had like befriended me on Instagram, and then I added her to my close friends because I don't post nothing in there, like whatever. It's just like a dump of my actual life, that like my kids and just my emotions, whatever. I just don't feel like the world needs to see, but like, you know, that I feel like people who want to get to know me or whatever are able to see. Honestly, my close friends is the same shit I post on my TikTok, if I'm being honest. But anyway, but I had that girl like befriend me, and the whole time you were spying on me for the ops. And you were the homegirls, you were best friends or whatever the fuck with the ops, and you was telling her what was in my close friends. So I just have not been really receptive to having like social media friends. Like, if I met you in person, I would be more open to that, like, you know, relationship versus social media, because people be sent. Okay, so anyway, I'm like, you know, just so happens you're a bonefish, I'm a bonefish, we're having a good time, we're having a drink, and we're both enjoying a key lime martini, you know, my go-to, and we're having a good time. So me and her have went out to happy hour maybe 2 to 3 times. We went to a little lounge and we've hung out, like, not as much as I would say she wants, but also, baby, I have 4 kids, I have a job, and I also run my own, dang, my lash came off, and I also have my own business. So it's like, how much time do I really have? And I am just such a low maintenance friend. I am not the friend you have to call every day. You don't have to talk to me every day. Like, my best friend I talk to once, maybe twice a month. My sister, I feel like the only people I need to talk to on a daily basis is my sister, my man, and my mom. That's it. I don't have, if you call me, I will always answer the phone, but I'm just not a texter. And with this girl, let's just call her Keisha. We're gonna call her Keisha. So Keisha, I met Keisha at Bonefish. We hung out a couple times, cool. But Keisha texts me a lot. And if you know me, then you know I am the worst texter ever. Like, you cannot text me. Like, not saying you can't, you can always text me. But texting me is just, you're bound to probably not get a response. So she's always like texting me. And I try to respond, like, but a lot of times, girl, you don't be talking about nothing. Like, you're just like, hey, what you doing? What's going on? Whatever. And I'm a very open person. I'm a oversharer. So when I feel like you're kind of digging and prying into my business, I kind of retract a little bit and like revert back into my little bubble, because I'm like, who sent you? So she just would always kind of be, I feel like, fishing sometimes. And I was just, you know, not really super responsive, and just, I don't know, maybe wasn't giving her what she was looking for, whatever. Anyway, she had wanted to hang out over the weekend, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in Philly with family and my kids or whatever. I'm going to the flower show. You know, I just opened up my bouquet business, so I'm like, I want to get content, I want to do all of the things, like, whatever. And that was another thing she was saying, that she was trying to get into content. And I'm like, oh, like, I do content, I'm not like famous or anything, but you know, it's something that I enjoy doing, and I built up like a little bit of a following. So like I said, similar interests. So long story short, she like texts me. I'm not really a texter. You call me. If you call me, you can get me every time. Like, we can spend talking on the phone for hours. But I just cannot text back and forth. Like, how I work, what I do, like doing hair and stuff, I can't be on my phone texting you all day, girl. Like, no. So this morning I get a message from her, and it says, hey girl. And I'm just like, and I was getting ready to say like good morning, because she normally texts me in the morning, but it's never like, hey girl. It's just like, hey, I hope you have a great day, I hope to see you soon, or something like that. Is she a lesbian? Let me not think that. Let me not. But it's kind of giving you want to be my girlfriend now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. Anyway, and the way this message was, it kind of gave like breakup, like my man leaving me or something. So she texts me, she says, hey girl, I really had it on my heart to express a few things to you. I sincerely mean this with all good intent. I've appreciated the time we have spent and the conversations we have had, but I think I'm gonna have to let this friendship go. You are extremely busy and hard to get in contact with. I need friends who are available and willing to be an outlet when I need. I don't think you have the capacity to allow anyone new into your life, which is okay. I just feel like now is the time that you look for new friends, because I don't think that you could be a friend that someone would need with everything you have going on. And I get it, life happens, but this is what you are supposed to lean on your girls for. And I don't think that you can consider me when doing that. I wish you all the best, and maybe we can hang out in the future. I wish I had a flip phone so I could. I don't know. Like, I feel, like I said, I'm a girl's girl, so I feel bad. As a woman, I feel bad because I'm like, maybe she really needed to talk about something and she wanted me to, because like I'm a therapist, low key. I need therapy, but I'm a therapist. So like, I'm always the one who could, like, I feel like, give sound advice. I play devil's advocate. Like, I'm just the friend that you could talk to about anything. So maybe she got that vibe and she wanted to talk. I don't know. But the thing is, my friends who need me and like need me for that to be like an outlet, they call my phone. I feel like, as a friend, why are we texting? Call me. I don't know. Like, that just, it kind of really hurt my feelings a little bit. I don't know how to take it, but I think that is, I don't know. I want to say that that's a bit weird. I want to say good riddance, like, you are a bit much anyway, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to talk shit because you friend broke up with me, but also, I don't know. Like, that just has thrown me off so bad. Because I'm like, what? Like, just reading it, you are extremely busy and hard to get in contact with. It's because you text me. I literally have over 700 messages in my phone. Like, no lie. I don't think you have the capacity to allow anyone new into your life. You are right. And I feel like I extended myself to you and you kind of, I don't know, like, you didn't appreciate it. Like, I don't know. I'm just such a low maintenance friend. Like, me and my best friend, like I said, we talk twice a month. Like, and then we catch each other up, and then I talk to you again in 2 weeks. Like, I'm just such a low maintenance friend. You do not have to call me every day. If you want to, you're more than open, but just know I'm not gonna call you every day because I just have so much going on. Like, we don't need to hang out all the time. Like, and we live in the same area. So girl, if you wanted to hang out and chit chat, you know, you were always more than welcome to just come over, drink some wine. We could talk about whatever it is you needed to talk about. But I just cannot sit and text you and talk to you all day. I don't know. I just think that was a bit strange. I don't know how to feel about it. Tell me what y'all think. I'm about to go to work. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.
And imitation is flattery until it becomes complete delusion and the person is trying to become you. Last year, I had 2 roommates. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm making this story time, you guys. I had 2 roommates last year. We'll call them Tori and Jade. Basically, Tori was okay, but Jade, she was something else. At first, Jade and I actually hit it off like really well. We would go out together. We would go run errands together. We even had a class together, you guys. And then slowly, I just started to realize that like, something was not right up here. So the semester before we started rooming together, it was the spring and I was having my birthday party at my apartment, which was soon to be our shared apartment. I wanted to do like a huge like all white birthday party because it was my 21st birthday. I wanted it to be like really cute, really aesthetic. So I decided to do all white. Before the party, I wanted to have like a brunch with all of my friends. After the brunch and the party, we would go to the bars. And it turned out to be like super cute. It was so much fun. Everyone had like a really good time. I also invited like so many people, like it was a pretty big house party. And then the beginning of the next school year, the first semester, it was her birthday. She told me she wanted to throw an all black party. Do you guys see where this is going? So she throws an all black party, but she also wants to do brunch before the party. Anyways, I don't own brunch. Like, I'm not saying that I own brunch and I don't own house parties and I don't own going to the bar after that, but it just seemed a little too suspicious. She didn't necessarily have as many friends, but she really wanted to have a lot of people at this party. So at one point she was telling me to like invite my friends, invite anyone that I could think of. She asked me where I got my birthday cake for my birthday and tried to order the pretty much exact same cake for her birthday. But like, I let it slide the first time, whatever. I was like, you know what? Like, she wants to have a good birthday. Like, who am I to say no, you can't have an all black party. Like, and when it was going on, I did think that it was weird. You know, I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, but then I would always talk about staple closets. Like, that was like my whole thing. I love a good staple closet. I love having a bunch of basics because you can come up with like so many cute outfits that are timeless. Anyways, I would talk about it a lot. And obviously she knew that because we roomed together. But then all of a sudden, anytime her friends were around, she would start mentioning staple closets as if it was like her own original idea, in the sense where she would just say like, oh, like I'm really trying like this new thing. Like I'm doing a staple closet. You should try it. I get my basics from these places. And like, yeah, I was talking about staple closets so that, you know, maybe she would start one of her own and she wanted help with like her outfits and stuff like that. But to talk about it as if I hadn't brought it up before in the past kind of is a little crazy. I gave her the benefit of the doubt because, you know, we live together. If I'm talking about it all the time, she probably doesn't realize that it isn't her original idea. And I don't know, guys. I'm trying to give her some grace, but it's so hard. But here's the kicker. When it comes to my relationship, I do not play. It was my boyfriend and I's like 2-year anniversary, and we decided to go to a really fancy restaurant on campus. I posted about it on my story, and Jade and her boyfriend went ahead and went to the exact same restaurant about a couple of weeks later. And I was like, out of all of the restaurants, out of all of the fancy restaurants in the city of East Lansing, you had to go to the exact same one my boyfriend and I went to for our anniversary, for your anniversary a couple of weeks later. Like, come on now. So it just became like one thing after another. During Christmas time, she would ask me for clothing pieces that I had exactly and would literally pester me about what size I got, what material I got, what exact version of the item I got. And another thing is that I'm really into Aritzia sweat sets. Like back in college, that was all I wore to class. And she begged and begged her parents for an Aritzia sweat set, the exact same like style that I had, but in a different color. But it was just like little things like that. It's like, I try to make myself somewhat different, even though like an Aritzia sweat set is pretty basic, but there's little things that like make you you. And when people are like taking those small little details and making them their own, it kind of gets under your skin, or at least it gets under my skin. Like, okay, sorry, didn't know we were in uniform. Like, what is happening right now? But you know what? I brushed it off. Fast forward to spring break, me and some friends, we all decide to go to Cabo. It's senior year, we're having a great time. We're all in a hotel room together. Like, it's perfect. And at this point in our friendship, I was kind of over it. Like, I was just kind of annoyed by her. Like, her boyfriend was always over at the apartment. It was just little, like, petty roommate things on top of the fact that she was constantly copying me. It got to the point where, like, her TikToks became similar and like the things that she was wearing became similar. And I tried my hardest to like keep things from her. Like I wouldn't say certain things or where I got certain things. I had to become a gatekeeper, guys, to keep this girl from doing every single thing I did. And like, I hate a gatekeeper. I'm sorry, I hate gatekeepers, but I had to gatekeep like literally everything. I did not tell my friends like really much of what was going on in our whole like copying situation, just because I felt a little egotistical. Like it felt like I was being a bit delusional because I'd never had someone like try to copy me. So I never really told them about it. But once we were in Cabo, like they really started to notice the fact that she was trying to do every single thing that I was doing. She would kind of idolize people who went to our college as if they were celebrities. And I remember there was one girl that I really did not like. We were friends at one point, we had a falling out, but she was also in Cabo. It was like our whole college there. And she arrived to the resort and Jade saw her. And let's just call this girl freaking Kat, okay? We'll call her Kat. Kat is walking past and Jade is like, oh my God, it's Kat. Oh my God, it's Kat. Oh my goodness. Like we need to hide. Oh my gosh. Like it's Kat. Like this is insane. And I'm like, girl, like let's chill out. Like this girl goes to Michigan State. Like this is not Alex Earl. Why are we freaking out right now? But anyways, she calmed down. And it was just like little things like that. And I was just like so fed up. And one day at breakfast, we were sitting all together at the breakfast table. And I always drink my coffee black. I don't really drink sugary coffees or coffee with creamer in it. And I sit down at the table with my food and with my coffee. And she's just like, I really need to start drinking black coffee. Like I really want to get into drinking black coffee. And everyone just kind of like looks at me because they know. And I told her, I was like, you don't need to like black coffee, you know, like you can like normal coffee. Like it's not like you don't need to do it. And then there was also a night where we all went out to one of like the resort parties. And once we went to dinner after like the resort party, she was like, guys, like we went to the party. I don't even remember that. Mind you, it was like an hour after the party. She was like, guys, I don't even remember going. Like, what happened? And she's not reading the room. She's not taking the hint. Like, girl, we know that you remember. Like, you don't have to do this for attention. You can be yourself. But after a while of being her friend, I realized that she didn't have a sense of self because her whole entire life, it seemed like, she had been pretending to be other people. So after that trip, we kind of all realized that she kind of just killed the vibe whenever she was around, because it was like kind of weird little white lies or like saying little remarks that made people uncomfortable. Not to mention that like she wasn't just doing weird things to me. Like she was doing weird things to other people and to my friends and to her friends. And so once we got back to school, it was just like an unspoken collective idea that we just didn't want to hang out with her anymore. Long story short, we all stopped hanging out with her. And then in May, she ended up DMing one of my friends, and she kind of just asked her like, why did we have a falling out? My friend kind of ignored the text message, and Jade actually ended up blocking her, which is like, okay, rightfully so. If these people don't want to be friends with you, then maybe just leave it at that and don't beg someone to be friends with you. That is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. All right, bye.
Story time on my sociopathic, narcissistic ex-best friend who stabbed me in the back. Y'all, this is going to be another series of We Listen and We Do Not Judge, okay? We listen and we do not judge. Reason why I say that is because, y'all, when I was growing up, I didn't have many friends. To this day, I still do not have many friends. So I'm kind of a sucker for love. Well, not really a sucker for love, but like I'm a sucker when it comes to friends. So I will say that in the past, not now, but in the past, I have my discernment wasn't really kicking in when it comes to, picking and choosing my friends. So just keep that in mind when I tell the story, okay? Thank you. So, all right, now we're going to jump right into the story. So I first met my ex-best friend. I don't know if we should use names or not. Let me pick a name. Matter of fact, fuck it. I'm going to use the actual real name. So I first met my ex-best friend. His name is Alex. And I first met him when I was on deployment in 2017. I met him on deployment 2017. We were both in the Army stationed at Fort Bliss, Texas, which is located in El Paso. So when I was in the Army, y'all, I got a quick, tell a little story. So when I first was in the Army, y'all, I'm not going to lie, I used to stay in trouble, so I was a target at this time. So if you were in the military, you understand that once you keep on, getting in trouble and stuff, everybody just starts directing all their frustration, and you just turn into a target. And in this situation, I was the target because I worked long hours. I was a 92 Golf in the Army, which is a cook, and we worked the most terrible hours that the military has to offer, period. Like we work 6 days a week. We work from literally before the sun comes up and then after the sun goes down. So I used to be late all the time, y'all, because I wasn't getting much sleep, and I had like insomnia, and like I used to, in the military, they want you to show up 15 minutes prior, and if you're not 15 minutes prior, that means you're late. Y'all, I used to show up on the dot. If we had to be somewhere at 6 o'clock or something like that, my ass would show up there at fucking 5:57. Like, that's damn. Come on now. Tried to do my lashes before I talk to y'all, but whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I was basically a target because I kept getting in trouble for being late. Like, I wasn't 15 minutes prior, and then after a while, they like, you know what? We gonna pick on her because she just can't get right. We gonna pick on her. So with that being said, when we were on deployment, I didn't really have many friends and stuff because it just seemed like, okay, so only people in the military would really understand, but like, so when you're a target, that means all the people your rank and stuff, majority, like in most cases, they want to kiss ass to, like, you know what I'm saying, get on their chain of command's good side, basically. So if you're the target, they gonna be like watching what you doing and then run back and be like, hey, Sergeant, such and such is over here doing this and that and the third, such and such, so it's like you can't really fuck with nobody that's in your immediate section, basically. So one day I was, chilling in cuz I used to hang out with the people that like worked in the motor pool and stuff. I didn't hang out with the other cooks because they was all fake, and yeah, I just didn't fuck with them. And they didn't like that. So I started hanging out with some of the people in the motor pool, and one day while I was on deployment, I was, we was just all walking around chilling and shit, and I came across this guy who was, but he wasn't quite ready to come out of the closet just yet. So we start talking, all of us in the group and stuff. And the guy, my ex best friend, Alex, was just like, I'm like normally like the type of person where I'm just like, kind of like, if I'm around new people, I just try to be quiet because like, I don't want to say anything to kind of like, make them not like me basically. So I was just very quiet, and he was just, I guess intrigued by that because he's like, wow, I really want to, I want to get to know you, and we become friends and stuff basically. Y'all, that does not happen often. So when it does happen, I'll just be like, yes, like, get to know me. Like, I'm a great person, like, I'm a wonderful friend. Like, y'all, when I have a friend, I swear on everything I love, like, I will do everything for that friend. If you don't got it, I'm paying for you. If you need something, I'm getting it for you. Like, if somebody's talking shit about you behind your back, I'm going to defend you, and I'm going to bring back proof to let you know exactly what they were saying. I record conversations over here. So, like, I'm one of them type of friends. Like, I'm really a ride or die friend, like a real loyal, true, genuine friend. A really, like, y'all, I'm an amazing friend. And I don't need nobody to tell me that I am either, because I know that I am. So, anywho, yeah, so he was, interested in getting to know me and stuff. And I was interested in getting to know him too, because he actually, I felt like he actually, like, seen me. Like, people normally meet me and be like, oh yeah, we don't like her and this, that, and the third. But him, he wasn't doing it. He was like, I want to get to know you and stuff. You seem like a really cool person. Cool. So y'all, after that day that we first met, we was hanging out with each other every single day, every second, every time we would have free time, we was with each other. And then we also had another friend or whatever. We just gonna call him Curtis, but it was the three of us. We was like the three musketeers and shit. So yeah, that's pretty much how it was on deployment. Y'all, when I tell you, we would go to work, get off from work, we would go to dinner, like, what is it? I guess dinner chow together, lunch chow, whatever. Like, anytime we would just be like, hey, what you doing? You at work? No. You at work? No. Like, let's get together. Like, that was the type of time that we was on. Like, we was like that. So, y'all, so when I was getting to know him and stuff, like, we just talking, and he like telling me about where he's from, and how and I'm telling him where I'm from. Like, we just getting to know each other and stuff, which is cool. Like, he was cool, I was cool, Curtis, he was kind of cool. Like, we just all, was cool with each other. So with that being said, like, I just felt like I could trust him because that was the only friend that I had at the time. And mind y'all, I was a target. So they were my only friends that I had, which was, like, I'm telling y'all, we used to go to church. Cause I can sing. So I used to be in the choir and stuff, and we used to go to church together. We was in the choir together. Like, we really had, like, we was like this, y'all, like that. Yeah, so we was just really close, y'all. We spent every single moment of every chance we got, we was spending with each other. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, when I was like friends with him and stuff, like, he used to gossip a lot, y'all. Like, he used to call himself the bookkeeper because he knew everybody's business. And in the beginning, I didn't see that as a red flag. I did not. So he would tell me about like everybody's business, everybody. If he knew that the first sergeant was having sex with another first sergeant or whatever, he knew, Then what else? Like, if he would be telling me his home girls, this girl that he grew up with or whatever, like, story about how her house used to be in shambles, and her baby daddy got the big H. Yeah, and like, it's a possibility that she has it. Like, he would just be spilling all the tea all the time, y'all. All the tea all the time. Like, whenever we would link up, he'd be like, yo, I just heard something, yada, yada, yada. Let's go to Starbucks. Let's get us some, you know what I'm saying, our little lattes and stuff. And then we would go over here and, like, you know, talk about it and stuff like that. Like, it was cool. I was like, shit, what's going on? Tell me, because I need to know. Like, you know, but I didn't realize, y'all, that he, not only was he telling everybody's business to me, guess what he was doing? He was telling all of my business to everybody else. Everybody. But I didn't find this out until much later, after this traumatic incident happened to me. And so, all right, I'm gonna tell y'all with the last little bit. So while I was on deployment, y'all, and I'm gonna get more into the story because the video's about to end, but something happened to me on deployment, and I'm pretty sure it was a sexual assault. Somebody sexually assaulted me, and unfortunately, due to that reason, I had to leave deployment early because it was just it wasn't a healthy situation for me to be in. All right, y'all, I'm about to go to the gym, and when I get out of the gym, I'm going to tell y'all part 2, because it's a lot of it's a lot of crazy shit in this story, y'all. A lot. So please bear with me and stick with me, and I love y'all. Please like, comment, and I guess follow for more of my content. All right, thank you. Okay, y'all, this is part 2 of my sociopathic / narcissistic ex-best friend. Go. So last video, I left off by telling y'all that I was sexually assaulted while I was in the military on deployment. Now, I know y'all probably like, why would you talk about such a thing? Y'all need to hear my story, okay? Now, I am actually to a point where I'm healed. Talking about the situation no longer bothers me, but I just need to give y'all backstory on this one particular incident, because this incident was crazy, y'all. It was crazy. So I'm going to start off by saying I was not raped at all, but I almost was. I was real close, y'all, real close. I had to fight for my life to get out of that situation, and that was very traumatic. I seen a fine Latino man. But anywho, yeah, let's get back to the, you know. But yeah, so it was a very traumatic situation for me, and yeah, so I have to tell y'all what happened, basically. So, with me and my ex-best friend, I told y'all how, like, I didn't really grow up with having a whole bunch of friends and stuff like that. Like, I still don't have a lot of friends to this day. But when I met my ex-best friend, like, he was, you know, we hit it off immediately, okay? Like, we was like this, thick as thieves, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole entire time, ever since we met each other, we was just real thick. Like, he would tell me the tea on everybody, everything that he knew everything about everybody. I guess everybody just felt comfortable coming to him to share their business, and he would come and tell me and the other bitch nigga that we used to hang out with named Curtis. So with that being said, y'all, now here's where I should have known that him, you know, talking about other people was a red flag. I don't know. In my mind, I thought that by him talking about, like, telling me other people's business and stuff like that, I thought to myself, like, oh no, he would never do that to me. Like, we're cool. We're, you know what I'm saying? We're thick as thieves. This is my best friend, even though I only met him last month. Like, you know, like, we're really here, you know? So I thought that I could trust him not to tell other people my business. Boy, was I wrong. See, I gotta smack myself, because boy, was I motherfucking wrong, y'all. He was telling my business to everybody. So with that said, or whatever, he was telling my business to everybody. So then, so in the beginning, it was me, him, Curtis, and we had, like, you know what I'm saying, a sprinkle of other friends, like, from the motor pool and stuff like that, and everybody was cool. Like, we all used to, you know what I'm saying, meet up together, you know, like, in a little small / large group, and we all used to, you know, like, kick it with each other and stuff like that. So until this one particular incident happened. So y'all knew it was New Year's. I'll never forget this day. New Year's 2018. Literally, when, you know, we 5, 4, 3, 2, like, you know, and they'd be like, Happy New Year's. That it was that day. This day. So y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all this. So when this incident happened to me, I just turned 21 on deployment. So when I was on deployment, I had just turned 21, and I'm like, bro, I can actually drink now. Like, I'm legal, you know, like whatever, right? So this, I guess like when you're overseas or on deployment and stuff like that, they like, for like certain holidays and stuff, and I guess for New Year's, they brought alcohol onto the fob, like on the posts, like the fob that we were on, they brought alcohol and stuff. And since I am a 92 golf, a 92 get down, I was a cook at the time, our job was to supervise the kitchen, and that's where everybody came. They came to the chow hall to drink, you know, their drinks and you know, in a responsible manner and stuff, and then leave basically. And my job, I was in charge of all of that shit. So y'all, since we were in charge of it, we had access to, so us and the Bangladesh and the Kuwaitian people and the Indian people who like work on the fob, they also had access to this alcohol too. So not only were we drinking, they were drinking as well, but we weren't supposed to. We was just doing it on a you know what I'm saying, you what they don't know won't hurt them kind of thing. Like we would, but it wasn't me who was just all, you know what I'm saying, who was drinking, y'all. All of the cooks were drinking, all of them, everybody was. We was plastered, y'all. We was plastered. So yeah, so, and not only were we drinking, you know, like going back for seconds, because it was like I think a 2-drink max. So you can either have 2 beers or 2 wines. And y'all, people, they would draw like a little Sharpie X, and you know what I'm saying, people was washing them shits off, and they would get right back in line and come right back in, and I seen them, but I'd be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, it's New Year's, you know what I'm saying, drink up. I'm drinking, so, you know, y'all could drink too. Who cares? We having fun. We don't get to do this often. We on deployment and shit, so why not, right? So with that being said, y'all, after we finished serving everybody, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm not, like, when I was in the military and stuff, like, yes, I would drink, because I'm gonna tell y'all this. Before the military, I was gardening. You know what I'm saying? A little puff pass. That's what I was doing. But when you go into the army, you cannot, you know what I'm saying, do drugs or, like, you know what I'm saying, smoke a little bit of marijuana or whatever. You can't do that. So the only, you know what I'm saying, stuff that you have that can make you actually feel a little, you know what I'm saying, cool or whatever, is drinking. So with that being said, when I was in the army, I never been good at controlling my liquor. Like, only until, like, maybe I turned, like, 22, no, 23, y'all. That's when I got good at, you know what I'm saying, like, managing my alcohol intake and not getting too fucked up. So back then, when I was like 21 or whatever, I had drank too much, y'all. Drank too much. So, mind y'all, remember in the first video, I told y'all I was a target at this moment. So even though everybody else was plastered and shit-faced at this chow hall that I was working at and stuff, guess who? They didn't give a fuck about them. But they like, where's Childers at? Where's she at? Yeah, cause we finna fuck with her. So me knowing that I'm a target and I can't do what everybody else is doing, because they're going to pick on me and use that as, like, try to tell me, yeah, we're going to kick you out the army, and we, you know what I'm saying, like, just try to, like, have me under, like, stress all the time and, like, anxiety and, you know, fearful about my future and stuff like that. I decided, y'all, I was like, you know what? I don't get off until early in the morning. And when I was at this chow hall, we used to, we had to pull an all-nighter, basically. So I would work, like, night shift, and then, you know, like, we would get off early in the morning. So everybody would just sleep, basically, until it's time for us to get off. So with that being said, let me turn the car off. Yeah, but with that being said, y'all, I decided to go outside and get my sleep on, you know, and be, like, basically be MIA. Like, they can't, if they don't find me, you know what I'm saying, while I'm intoxicated or whatever, then, you know, everything will be okay, right? Yeah, so that was enough. So I went outside, y'all, and I was outside sleeping because it was like this chair. It was like these connexes and stuff like that. And it was like a perfect little hiding spot. And like only people who like smoke and, you know what I'm saying, like go back there or whatever. So I seen this chair that I always would see, but I never sat in it. But like this day, y'all, I was so fucked up. So I decided to go behind this connex and fall asleep in this chair, you know what I'm saying, until I'm sober enough to get off, because I'm not trying to have nobody threatening my career and all that stuff or whatever. And everybody else can be drunk, but since I'm a target, I can't, you know what I'm saying, be under the influence. So with that being said, y'all, I fell asleep in this chair. And I'm talking about, I was in a deep sleep, y'all. Deep sleep. Super deep. And you ever notice, like, y'all ever be sleeping and you can hear, like, let's say you're sleeping, right? But you hear somebody's car going off on the outside. Or you sleeping and you hear a dog barking and you can hear it in your dream. That's what happened to me. Like, I could hear people talking. And then, like, I don't know, it just, like, sounded like some people were whispering. Like, yeah, da-da-da. And they were speaking a language that I never heard of. You know, what I heard when I went on deployment. But I don't know what the hell it is that they're saying. Nothing. I just know that the way that they're talking, they're up to no good. Y'all, I'm gonna finish this the rest of this in the next video. So follow me, like, comment, and I guess, you know, share my story, and yeah, just support my content. Love you. Story time on my sociopathic / narcissistic ex-best friend who is a backstabbing ass bitch. And this is part 3. Número 3. All right, so the last video I left off that it was New Year's, and yeah, I had got too intoxicated, and I decided to go outside and take a nap in this chair because I was a target by my chain of command. And when I went out there, I fell asleep, and I kind of like heard some people like whispering and all types of shit, and it was crazy. So yeah, so I'm sleeping in this chair or whatever, and you could hear, you know, outside shit going on. So I'm literally like, yo, I'm trying to enjoy my sleep and shit, but I keep like, you know, hearing people whispering like they're up to no good in a different, like in a foreign language, like a language that I have no clue what's being spoken. Nothing. So y'all, I am so fucked up. Like, y'all ever get so drunk that like you can't do anything but sleep, because and then when you close your eyes, it's like the room, everything is just spinning. That's literally what I was going through at this time. So I you know, when I was hearing the whispering and stuff, I was just like, oh, nothing's not gonna happen to me, like, you know, just go back to sleep or whatever. Boy, was I, y'all, that was not the case at all. So the whispering went from whispering to touches, y'all. Touches. Yes. So like what I mean by that, like I was sleeping and stuff, and at first I heard the whispering and stuff, but I was just like, oh, maybe that's just something in my dream or whatever. But then, like, y'all, I felt, you know what I'm saying, like my body move a little bit, and I felt somebody touching me. But the first time I felt it, I was just like, you tripping. You really fucked up. You just need to go back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know, like, just focus on sobering up. You're tripping. But then another part of me was like, if it happened again, yeah, we got to do something, because I hope it don't happen again. Y'all, it happens again. So I'm, you know, sleeping or whatever, and it happens the first time, and I let it slide. But the second time, y'all, I felt somebody go inside of my shirt and grab a whole, you know what I'm saying, chi-chi, and just fondling it, y'all. Then after that, I'm like, oh shit, bitch, somebody is fucking touching you. We need to wake up. We need to wake up ASAP. No Rocky, like right now. So while I'm sleeping in the chair, I'm like, yo, have y'all ever been like sleep paralysis or some shit? That's what the fuck was going on right in this moment, y'all. Like I'm sleeping and shit, but I'm telling myself, wake up. Oh my God. Chill out. All right, yeah, but I'm telling myself, wake up. and I cannot wake up, y'all. I cannot get up. Yeah, so I'm telling myself, wake up, y'all, but I cannot get my fucking body to move at all. Like, at all. So then, y'all, I start feeling like hands, like, you know what I'm saying, reach in my pocket, like, not in my pocket, but in my pants to like touch my, you know what I'm saying, my cooter or whatever. Then I feeling like I'm feeling, you know, but it's like real quick, like, and then they would hurry up and like walk off or something. So I'm just like, bitch, we gotta get the fuck up. We gotta get up. So I'm thinking to myself like, yo, all right, once you're able to like move your fucking body, bitch, we need to figure out what we doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to scan, you know what I'm saying, to see who we firing off on first. Like, we need to see what's our path? What is our way to get out of this situation? Like, it's a dead end back here. How many people do we got to fight to get out of here from this situation? Y'all. So as soon as I could, you know what I'm saying, like move my body, y'all, the first thing I did, I didn't want them to, you know what I'm saying, like, cause you never know. You never know what's going to happen. If they see you, oh, now we got to unalive you now. Cause you know what I'm saying? You didn't see who did it. Like, I want my life, you know? So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do a little peek, little peek, and I see that it's this man that has been like, he hasn't been harassing me, but he always looks at me like he's disgusted every time he sees me. So I never expected, like, out of all the men, you know what I'm saying, from like Bangladesh or from Kuwait or from India and stuff like that, I never thought that this would be the man who, you know what I'm saying, is would do something like this to me. What, you know what I'm saying, period. Like, I just never thought that. So, and then, y'all, like, when I had opened up my eyes, so I saw him, and he's a tall guy, slender, but tall as shit. So I'm like, shit, how we going to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we going to go for his legs, or what we going to do? Like, I don't know. So y'all. So imagine being in this situation, right? And then you open up your eyes and you see, you know what I'm saying, like the person, but then you see that it's not only them, but it's another person, another man is there, possibly touching me as well. Like, that's crazy, right? So as soon as I wake up, I see this man, I'm thinking like, all right, he's my only, you know what I'm saying, opponent. Like, he's the only person that I have to, you know what I'm saying, fight and try to get away from at this point. Y'all, I see another man who's like manages them, and he's like off in the corner smoking a cigarette and stuff, and he's like talking to the other guy. So I'm just like, oh fuck, it's two of them that I gotta fight. Like, I done fought two bitches before at the same time, y'all, but I never fought two men at one time. I never have. And I'm just like, y'all, you're destined to doom. You're destined to lose. I'm telling you. But I guess the other man was there just to, like, I guess make sure that the other guy didn't go too far. But the other guy was waiting for that guy to leave, to walk away from me so he could finish the job, basically. Y'all, so I think, like, you know, so at this point, I'm up. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, when are we going to, you know what I'm saying, stand up? Like, when would be the perfect opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, to get up and get up out of this, you know what I'm saying, this situation? So while I'm there contemplating what I'm going to do next, I hear them two get into an argument. So I guess the one dude was telling her, all right, you had your fun. You didn't touch her enough or whatever. You know, leave her alone before she wakes up. And then the other guy probably was like, I want more. Like, because he was mad, y'all. He was so mad. He stormed off. And as soon as I heard him storm off, y'all, I hurried up and got the fuck up. Y'all, when I got up, the man who was, you know what I'm saying, smoking a cigarette and stuff and was telling him to leave me alone, he was like, and then started saying something in their language or whatever, like, I guess warning the guy, like, she's up. So before the nigga who walked away, y'all, could, like, you know what I'm saying, like, go off and do some other shit, I was turning the corner, because, yeah, y'all, I was drunk and I was fucked up. But, y'all, when it's time to throw these bitches, I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing. So I get up and I'm mad, y'all, because I'm like, yo, how dare this bitch ass nigga, you know what I'm saying, like, touch me and got the nerve, like, you know what I'm saying, like, now I'm about to put hands and feet on you, because what the fuck was you doing? So, y'all, Next thing you know, I turn this corner or whatever, and I see the nigga, and I fucking grab him with one hand, and I just start wailing on him, and he's like, no, please stop, like, whatever the fuck. And then the other nigga who was smoking a cigarette, tell me why this nigga came over and pushed me on the ground, y'all, scraped the whole side of my face up. So then, right after that, I was like, oh, so I'm about to fight both of these niggas right now. So the other dude who's smoking a cigarette, he comes over, push me. The other dude, they both standing there. So I'm like, yeah, like, come on, I could fight. I could beat both of y'all. I could beat both of y'all. But then it dawned on me, like, bitch, you're in the army. You got a whole, you know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of soldiers and shit in here. You don't even got to fight these niggas. Just go and tell on them. So as soon as I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to fight y'all. I'm going to tell on you. And that's what I did. So, y'all, I go back into the damn chow hall, y'all, and I start yelling, screaming at the top of my lungs. Y'all, wake up! Wake up! And everybody's like drunk, fucked up, y'all. They like, Childers, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, yo, they tried to rape me outside. They tried to take my goodies from me outside. Call the MPs, call the police, call everybody. Face bleeding, y'all. Face is fucking scratched up and everything. I'm going to stop this story and I'm going to start the next story, okay? Like, follow me, and ignore the tears because I promise y'all I'm healed. All right, I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Mwah. Damn. Story time on my sociopathic, narcissistic ex-best friend. So last video, y'all, I left off by saying how I was SA'd by some people when I was on deployment, and I went back into the chow hall and I woke everybody up because we needed to call the police. So while they trying to gather themselves or whatever, like, why do you need to call the police? What happened? I told them, like, these two men just tried to do some stuff to me outside. So with that being said, y'all, they trying to help me calm down, because in the beginning they were like, oh, you're just drunk, like, you don't know what's going on. And I'm like, no, I don't, like, I'm trying to tell them, like, I don't think y'all understand the severity, like, but I'm screaming and shouting at this point, like, So then, y'all, I look over and I see the two men come inside of the defect or whatever, like the tent place. So, y'all, I ran until, like, the police and whoever, like, got me and stuff, because I'm like, in that moment, you never know what you're going to do in certain situations and stuff. And I don't know, I just still was like in shock of what happened. And on top of that, I was thinking about like the repercussions and stuff, because mind y'all, I'm a target at this time. And I just knew that people were going to spin the whole thing and make me be the villain in the whole entire story. I had a feeling, and that's exactly what happened. So, y'all, they take me to the hospital and stuff, and y'all, remember I said that I was in the choir? Tell me why they brought the pastor to, that we be in church with and stuff, like, for the choir and stuff. They brought him up there, and y'all, it was so embarrassing, because, like, he was saying, like, a prayer to me, and it's like, when you know somebody, like, in a certain way, or whatever, like, they know you as this good person, they see you, like, in the church, they see you doing this, and then they see you, like, they see you as this, like, one version, so it's kind of, like, weird when they see you and you're going through something, like, whenever he would see me, like, I'm always happy, I'm always, like, in a good mood and stuff like that, like, and then in this time, like, he saw me and I was just, going through a lot. But nevertheless, y'all, so I stayed in the hospital, and then the whole time I was in the hospital, they just kept trying to, like, tell me, like, oh, take this breathalyzer. And I'm like, if I just, something this traumatic just happened to me, right? Why are y'all so concerned about seeing how much I had to drink? Like, I'm not going to say, like, who cares, but, like, literally, who cares about that? I'm a victim in this situation. It doesn't matter. Like, so if a woman is drinking and she passed out drunk or whatever, that just gives anybody the right to come over and, like, do anything to her, take her goodies from her, touch her up and do all types of stuff like that. So, so like right away it was just given like, I'm not blowing shit. I'm not doing none of that, stuff or whatever, like, period. So y'all, eventually, like, they kept me in the hospital because the nurse, she was getting mad, but I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, bitch, fuck you. And I think I did tell the bitch, I said, bitch, fuck you. Because I think it was like an officer or something like that. And she was trying to get smart with me. And I'm like, bitch, you think that I give a fuck about your rank right now? Bitch, these people, I could have, lost my life technically. And you over here getting smart with me. So I said, bitch, fuck you. Fuck. I know they told my chain of command, but they ain't did shit. They didn't do nothing to me. But I'm like, bitch, yeah, fuck you. Because don't everybody give a fuck about this military shit. I'm trying to tell you. You fucking with the wrong one, y'all. You fucking with the wrong fucking one. So y'all, they ended up, I guess like I ended up getting out of there and stuff. And so like the first thing I did was call my best friend because like that's my only friend. Mind you, I told you that I was a target at this time and stuff, so I didn't really have nobody. He was the only person that I gravitated to and that I was talking to in this moment, like, so I'm like, I'm gonna tell him what happened because I felt like I can trust him. So y'all, I told this man everything that happened, like detail on top of detail on top of detail. Like I told him everything. I cried to him on the phone, all of the above, y'all. So afterwards, like while we was on the phone, he was very like nurturing over the phone. Like he talked to me. He made me feel like nobody's not going to judge you for this incident and stuff. Like it was a whole bunch of stuff. Your incident is not the only one that happened last night, and was saying like, I got your back, you don't got to worry about nothing. Like, I'm your like he just made me feel like he just did something. I had anxiety at the time, y'all, but he did something and made me calm down, which is like, all right, like he made me feel like he genuinely cared about me and my well-being. He did not. So after that, y'all, then I strongly believe, but I do not have proof. So I think that he told everybody that was in remember. So remember how in earlier videos I told y'all how it was. So he was like who I was, clicked up with like that. But we had other acquaintances and other friends that we all used to rally up together and go somewhere and we would hang out together. But when, the group would break off, me and my, best friend or whatever, we would break off, go our way, and then everybody else would disperse and go their own way. So before, them people was all friendly and nice and all this stuff, and then after the incident happened, y'all, and I told him about the incident, now all of a sudden, even like the females, because we hung out with majority females and stuff all the time, so like even with the females, you would think that they would be like more attentive or like, like more sympathetic towards me because we're all women and stuff, and I'm pretty sure that they've had a similar situation like that before too. But no, y'all, they was just like, we don't want to be, we don't want to be bothered with her. They never said this to my face, but I could feel the distance, like everybody putting distance between me and themselves. And I could not understand why, because I was just like, they don't know what happened, so I'm like, at the end of the day, I was sexually assaulted. So it's like, why are these, and then I could understand, like, men, like in the army, they say like, oh yeah, stay away from certain women and stuff like that, because like, they'll ruin your career or something like that. So like, I'm like, what, I don't care. But like the women and stuff like that, that was like, that really shocked me, because I'm like, we cool, we're really, like, whatever. So I didn't really like, put two and two together that he, shared my story with these people, whatever, and they probably like joked about it and stuff. But later on, I did find out that that's what was happening, because one of the people that was on deployment with us told me that he was not my friend. And this was like this was like years later, y'all. Years later. So after that, y'all, I had to like do like some type of like victim therapy and stuff, like for the, like in the army and stuff. And they came up with the executive decision, like they just going to send me back home, send me back to the States or whatever, because they feel like this situation, like me being in that environment, was not a good place for me. So they sent me back home early. which I was okay with. At first, I was just, y'all, because you make so much money on deployment. You make so much money. They don't tax none of your money. You ain't paying no bills, no nothing. So I was just like, damn, I kind of want to stay so I could really rack up out here. But I was just like, you know what? You got to go because this is really not a healthy situation for you. And then, you know, like people judging me and stuff. And I don't even know what they're even judging me for. That's the crazy part. They're judging me for no reason. Like, how are you judging me? Because these people touched me without my consent. I'm not understanding. Like, y'all don't understand it. I don't get it. But yeah, so before when they sent me back, cause I'm gonna make this quick. So when they sent me back, y'all, I remember my ex-best friend used to be really cool with this first sergeant that we was out on deployment with. So like this first sergeant used to act cool and stuff like that with me. But then y'all, all of a sudden, the first sergeant like basically went from like being friendly and nice and stuff to like just a total asshole for no reason. And if I see this bitch to this day, I'm fucking you up. You fucking weirdo piece of shit. Yeah, I'm fucking you up. But y'all, I'm like, comment, and like, comment, and follow me, and yeah, keep listening to the story. It's going to get better. All right, story time on my sociopathic / narcissistic ex-best friend. So last video I left off where I was saying how his first sergeant was cool with me at first, but once he found out that I was leaving or whatever, he turned into a whole ass, just a whole bitch. So yeah, y'all. So they made the executive decision that they was gonna send me back. So I was cool with that. So I'm packing up all my stuff or whatever, doing everything that I was supposed to be doing, basically like shipping all my stuff, doing everything. So this one particular day, we were leaving, and I did start to notice how my ex-best friend was starting to put like a little bit of distance in between me and him as well. So, but he was just still saying like he wanted to see me when I leave and all this crap or whatever, right? So tell me why, y'all, that we had this bus, and the bus was supposed to take us to the airport or wherever it is that we, you know, was going to be leaving from to the little airport. So the bus came to take us to the airport. So I'm texting my best friend like, hey, I'm about to leave or whatever, like, you know, in case you want to say goodbye. And he was just like, yeah, I'm coming. And I'm like, okay, because the bus is about to leave any minute now. And so he never texted me back. So I was like, okay, like, I guess, you know what I'm saying, he just gonna have to see me when he see me. So, like, out of nowhere, y'all, I see my best friend and the first sergeant. So I'm so happy because I'm like, I don't have nobody on this deployment. I'm in a whole different country or whatever. And I'm surrounded by people who don't, you know what I'm saying, fuck with me, who don't love me, don't care about me at all. And I'm like, well, I see my best friend, and I'm just like, you know what, at least I got this one person. Boy, was I wrong. So, y'all, he comes up on the bus, and he's laughing and stuff like that. And then his first sergeant comes up on the bus, too. So when the first sergeant comes on the bus, he starts walking down like the little aisle in between the bus or whatever. And he's shaking people's hands. He's like, yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks, you know. And mind y'all, I am the only minority on this bus. Like, it is nothing but white boys, white men, you know, on the bus. And I am the only black female on the bus, period. There are no other females. There are no other black people. I am the only one. So while he's shaking their hands and stuff, he gets to me, and I'm thinking that he about to shake my hand or whatever. So I'm looking up at him, you know what I'm saying, to see what he finna say to me. Because I'm not going to say I know him personally, but I've met him, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times. Y'all, tell me why this man gets up, he walks up to me and purposely embarrasses me in front of everybody by doing this. Don't look at me! And then continues to keep shaking people's hands and shit. So when he says that to me, y'all, I look at my best friend to see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is his fucking problem? Right? The best friend, my ex-best friend is standing at the door like, like he is laughing so hard, y'all, that he has tears coming from his eyes. That is how hard he is laughing. So then after my first sergeant, I mean, not mine, but after this first sergeant he finished shaking everybody's hand, he makes an announcement talking about, yeah, thank you guys all for coming out. And I just want to say, stop lying on people. Stop making up lies about people, and your life or something like that will go much smoother. Stop lying on people. And then he got off the bus, and my best friend got off the bus with him while he was laughing. So right then and there, y'all, I'm like, wow, like that's, wow. Like, I'm just so angry because it's like, how does somebody get to like mess with me like that and then I can't say nothing back? Because at the end of the day, he's a first sergeant, I'm a specialist. You know, so it's like in the Army, y'all, if they tell you, oh no, rank doesn't matter, and it does matter. It does. They don't care about you. If you say that somebody, this rank or whatever, did something to you or anything like that, they don't care. They sweep that right under the rug. They don't give a fuck about that at all. But let you, you know, do something or whatever, they ready to put your ass out the military. Or let you defend yourself when they disrespect you. Then they ready to reprimand you in some way, shape, or fashion. So y'all had to, you know what I'm saying, chalk that. But right then and there, I was just like, yo, that nigga is not my friend. My friend, a real friend, would never do nothing like that to me. This man set me up. He literally asked me when was I leaving just so that he could bring his first sergeant onto the bus to have him embarrass me like that in front of everybody. He's not your friend. So, y'all, when I got back home or whatever, like, I did not talk to him. I didn't tell him how I was doing. Nothing. I didn't say shit to him. Nothing. I'm like, you know what? They're going to put me in a new brigade. They're going to put me in a new unit and stuff. I don't never have to see any of these people. And I'm about to, PCS to go to Alaska, y'all. That was where I was supposed to PCS to. So I'm like, you know what, Naya, just stick it out. You only got like 8 more months here, and then you out the door. You leaving. You gonna be somewhere else, new people, they don't know you, nothing, and just shut up and you know, don't make no friends, just stay to yourself, literally. So while I was back or whatever, y'all, and I was like still in my same unit. So when I got back, I kept like receiving phone calls from my ex-best friend, like, you know, like basically like begging to talk to me and stuff. So I'm just like, bitch, I'm not talking to you. Like, I didn't say nothing to him, nothing for a while, y'all, months. Like months he would call my phone, I would not answer. So one day he sends me a text message and he's like, Naya, I miss you so much and I really wish you here. Like the deployment is not the same without you and blah, blah, blah. And I just want to really like talk to you on the phone and, you know, like all this stuff or whatever. Still didn't talk to him, didn't say nothing to him. So then, y'all, finally they ended up coming back. So when they got back, he hits me up again like, hey, let's go out. You know, let's catch up. We need to tell you everything and this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. So when I spoke to him on the phone, I told him, I was like, yeah, like, I don't fuck with you. Please stop calling my phone. You're not my friend. And, yeah, I just don't want anything else to do with you. So he was like, why, honey? Why? Honey, you're like a sister to me. I really care about you so much, honey. Why? So I tell him the whole story, that the thing that happened, which he already knew. So y'all, I need to tell y'all this. So Alex, my ex-best friend, he's the type of person where like, he really got good at like, throwing stones and hiding his hands, y'all. Like he really did. And then when you approach him about it, it's the same thing. Like he would just gaslight you to make you feel like you're the crazy one. You're overthinking it. You are the one overthinking it. And that's what he would do with me every time. And then it's like he would do something that's real grimy, y'all. And then he would turn around and just be extremely nice. Like do extremely nice gestures and stuff. So that's why in my head, I was just like, was it a misunderstanding? Was I the one acting crazy? Like he really, I don't know what the hell it was, y'all. But he really was playing mind games with me. Real bad mind games. All right, y'all, I'm going to jump back into this after I go to the gym, but I really got to go to the gym because my trainer is waiting for me, y'all. So Mi amorcitos. If y'all still here, y'all probably done gave up on me a long time ago. But if you are still here, te amo, amorcitos, and yeah. I still love you guys, and I hope y'all still love me. And I'm gonna get back into my morning amorcito videos and stuff like that once I finish with this story, y'all. I gotta tell my story. All right, y'all. Like, comment, and please follow me for more content, and continue to listen to my story because it gets crazier, y'all. It gets crazy.
Story time on how I lost my best friend of like 8 years over a guy. So this all takes place in tuition. So boom, one time my friend came, like she was new, so she came in, and I've known her since I was like year 3 because we went to the same tuition prior, and then we were friends since, and then she came to mine because I left so many different tuitions. We're sitting now having a good time. I have a friend in the year above that they don't really know about. Yeah, so cool. One time we're all talking, it's like a lunchtime, we're all talking, we're all having fun. We're just, I'm introducing my friend, let's call her Aisha, to everyone else, and let's say Lily in the year above was there too. Aisha's now talking. Aisha has got a boyfriend. Aisha said, oh yeah, I got a boyfriend. This is his name, blah, blah, just showing pictures and everything like that. Everyone is like talking about him, either saying he's good looking, whatever. Lily is mute. I'm looking at Lily like, Lily, what's going on? Like, you didn't even want to speak to my friend. I was kind of annoyed, like, you didn't even want to speak to my friend. That's kind of rude, like, what the hell? I'm at my friend's table and you just like looking at her, like giving her dirty looks kind of thing. She goes, I want to tell you something. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I thought she was going to say she don't like the girl. She goes, that boy she showed, yeah, I'm talking to him. I said, oh. But you know what it is? Lily was just a liar. Everyone in the tuition knew this. Like, the girl was a liar. She was a liar. I was like, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to try and get some more information. Then I'm going to tell Aisha. Because I don't want to go to Aisha and say something that's bullshit. I was trying to build a RICO case. I was trying to find out the one mistake I made is I saw one of the girls in the group, like, I'm like, I can't lie, we need to find out information on why he's trying to talk to the girl year above. Like, is it true? Because I'm not gonna lie, like, Lily, she didn't even come with a lot of information. It seemed bullshit. Like, and I can smell bullshit from a mile away. So then Lily just tells Aisha after like a week of me not doing nothing and my friend not doing nothing, because she knew I told my friend. Lily told Aisha. Aisha was seeing flipping red. She was pissed at like Lily, and she was pissed at me and my friend. She was like, why did she have to come to me? I'm like, babe, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know this too. The girl's a liar. If I came to you saying the girl's a liar. But it turns out she actually was half lying. Like, I don't know how to say it, but she was half lying. And then Aisha was just mad. She goes like, I was trying to tell her, I was trying to find information, because Aisha had a habit of people telling her stuff and then like she'd get angry at them. So I'm trying to like get information, then tell her, not give her half our story so she can get like annoyed at me and my friends, you know what I mean? She goes like, I would have believed you, like I genuinely would have believed you. But I'm like, yeah, I know, but I didn't want to come and like break your heart for no reason, with no proof and there's no bread in the pudding. But she was like really upset. Like, I heard where she come from. Now that I got older, I was like 14, right? And now that I got older, I understand where she's coming from. Like, I should have told her straight up, even if I know it wasn't bullshit. But I grew from that. But we don't speak at all anymore. We like whenever I see her videos, I like it, and she likes mine. So I guess that's that.
Story time on why I cut off my then best friend of 7 years. And yeah, I actually wrote some things down on a piece of paper so I don't forget to tell y'all. So our friendship started back in like freshman year of high school. It was like second semester, so this had to be around like 2013. I think we had like an English or a math class together, and she was really cool. Like, she had a super outgoing like personality. Like, I was the exact opposite. I was a super introvert, but for some reason we just really got along. So our friendship really stuck around all throughout high school. She would do like little things in high school that would kind of make me raise an eyebrow. Like, whenever we were like walking together, and mind you, she was popular, she was a cheerleader, I totally get it, but like we would be mid sentence, mid conversation, and she would just dart in the other direction without saying anything. And I always thought that was super weird, because I'm just like, I would never do that to somebody while they're talking. So I overlooked that red flag, and eventually we graduate, and she goes to school like 4 hours away, but she still comes back to see her boyfriend, who lived like 15 minutes from me. So let's just keep that in mind. At the time, I was still living with my parents, and the only time she would like come to town or like ask to see me is when she needed like me and my mom to like pick her up from, I think it was a train station or the flyaway, to go take her to her other friend's house. At no other time during her stay there did she come and hang out with me. She just used me for a ride. It was my mom's car. Fast forward, we're like still friends. We still like talking on a somewhat consistent basis. And whenever she would come out here, she would only come out here to see her boyfriend. And she really wouldn't even tell me that she was coming to town. Like, she would accidentally like tell on herself, like during conversation. She's like, oh, me and my boyfriend did this and this. I'm like, oh, you were just out here? Like, why didn't you say anything? We could have just like hung out. Like, he lives 15 minutes from me, so it's not like you have to go out of your way to come and see me. And mind you, like, We're supposed to be best friends. And it was one specific instance where me and her actually did get the chance to hang out. I had picked her up from her boyfriend's house. We had gone to the mall. We were hanging out. While we were at the mall, it was like two boys. They tried talking to us, but we both brushed it off because we both had boyfriends. There was really nothing to talk about. And then we went to go meet up with both of our boyfriends for lunch. Now this is like a little bit post COVID, so you could order food at restaurants, but you really couldn't sit down and eat. So we had to take our food to go, and we were gonna go take our food to one of the view spots that we really like to go chill at. On the way to the view, mind you, my boyfriend's driving, I'm sitting in the front seat, and then it's her and her boyfriend in the back seat. She brings up the boys that tried talking to us in the mall, and I don't really like feed into it too much, but like, yeah, they were just trying to talk to both of us, blah blah blah. And this is where it got weird. I get a text from her that she meant to send to her boyfriend, and it said, oh, they were really trying to talk to me, they weren't trying to talk to her. I was like, I literally turn around and show her, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's weird. Like, I'm not even trying to hype it up to make it seem like they were trying to talk to either one of us. They tried to talk to both of us. And why does it matter? Like, we have boyfriends. Like, why does it matter who they're trying to talk to? Like, I just thought that was so weird. So that really, like, killed the vibe after that. And, like, I hate to even be confrontational because we're supposed to be best friends. Like, I don't feel like friendships should ever have to be confrontational whatsoever. But that was some weird ass shit because what can you have just said out loud if you really want to say something? That was weird. So I let that go. And she would occasionally come and tell me like that some people were talking shit about me. I guess like some people or guys or girls from high school we went to. Mind you, like I wasn't really friends with too many people, so you really had to go out of your way to talk shit about me. And she would tell me, oh yeah, somebody's talking shit about you. They said X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay, well, who said it? Oh, I can't tell you that. Why? Like, why can you not tell me? Like, are you not my best friend? Because in my head, if you can't tell me who said it, you must have been sitting in there chiming in on it too. Because as my best friend, you would absolutely let me know because you couldn't have came to my defense. Because if you were in my defense, you would have told me who said it so we could go handle the problem ourselves. Or at least let me stick up for myself and say something to whoever said it. But no, you want to play both sides, and I don't like people who do that shit. So, like, after that, like, our friendship was slowly kind of, like, coming to an end. Like, the conversations became, like, less and less. It really didn't help that she lived 4 hours away or went to school 4 hours away. It really didn't help. And it kind of was to the point where I was like, you know what? Like, the friendship really isn't there. I feel like it's one-sided. At one point, I felt like I was one always reaching out. She wouldn't reach out too much. Like, the conversation was just dry. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of just going to leave it alone. And we were having a conversation because at the time, like, I had a nail business. I was doing bottle service, like, and I was working. So I had like 3 incomes at one time, and I was doing pretty good for myself. Like, I had moved out, like, I was really on my own. It was me and my boyfriend at the time. Like, it was just us two, and I was making it work. Like, that's just how I had to do it, and it was cool. And she was like, well, you should have just stayed with your parents and stayed so that way you don't have to drop out of school. Mind you, she is the one person. If you saw my original pink tote video, she is the only person outside of the people who lived in my house who saw how badly my stepdad had beat me. Because it was one day when me and her were talking, and she was playing, and she like bumped into me, but she bumped into the arm where he peeled the skin off. So I was like, I kind of winced a little bit. She's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, no. She's like, no, like, why are you like wincing like that? So I showed her like my arm was bandaged up like under my jacket. Like, I showed her the scars, not the scars, but the bruises going all down my leg. She was like, you need to call the police. And so if you're the one person who saw how abusive my stepdad was, why on earth would you ever suggest staying there? I left so that way I could be subjected to any more abuse. And you're gonna tell me I should have stayed so I can stay in school? Girl, like, did you touch grass at any point in your life? Because I would never suggest you stay in an abusive relationship so you can stay in school. Like, what? I know I should have ended right there. I should have ended the friendship like right then and right there, but I was like, you know what? Like, maybe she just doesn't understand like what I'm going through. But now that I'm older, you absolutely understand. Like, people know what they're saying, they know what they're doing. And this right here was the straw that essentially brought the camel's back. Me and my boyfriend, we were going through something. We had just broken up, like, and I was just like confiding in her, like, you know, I don't even remember what the conversation really went like, but I was just expressing, like, you know, typical relationship problems, and she snapped on me. I don't want to hear about this nigga no more. I was like, wait a minute. Whenever you come to me with the problem between you and your relationship, do I ever snap at you and tell you I don't want to hear it? No. I sit there and listen, and we could be sitting here for an hour, and all I'm saying is while you sit here and vent to me. But when I'm venting to you, now it's a problem. I was like, you know what? I'm good, because I don't let people talk to me any kind of way. I'm sorry. I grew up with really verbally abusive parents, so that's like a trigger for me. You don't get to yell at me. You don't get to snap at me. That's it. I cut it off, right? Cut it off like a dead limb. And I know I'm not the problem, because she's reached out to me multiple times over the years trying to like apologize and like rekindle. And honestly, like, I've ignored all her attempts. Like, there's nothing left to talk about. We're all adults here. And I have never in my life snapped at any of my friends, no matter how much stress I was under, no matter how tired I was of hearing about their problems. You're my friend. Why would I not want to hear about your problem? This is a safe space for you to come and vent to. I didn't have any other like real sorts of like, I didn't have a mom. I don't have a big sister. I don't have a cousin that I can go to. So low key, she was kind of like, she was like my outlet. And I'm gonna be real with you, she got a sprinkle of what the fuck I was really going through. I was really taking everything on the chin and not even really telling anybody my problems. I'm over here talking to you about my relationship problems, and you're snapping on me. Yeah, the friendship had to go right then and right there. Like, it was done after that. Like, she's tried to reach out. I don't have nothing to say. Like, and we're all grown now. This happened like, what, 3 years ago, and I'm cool. Like, there's a list, baby. There's a list of egregions. I'm straight.
Story fucking time. Okay, y'all, I'm about to tell y'all about the time where I had a friend of 8 years and we fell out after 8 years over a hair color. So I started doing YouTube about 2-3 years ago, y'all, doing story times and things like that. I started wearing wigs and stuff like that in my videos. Hair companies started reaching out to me, and I got a little sponsorship. They sent me some wigs, okay? Boom. This was before I knew, like, you need to charge for promo and all that. I let them send me the free wigs, and I was just going to wear the wigs in some of my YouTube videos. Y'all, they sent me 3 wigs. One was like a black wig, one was a burgundy curly wig, and one was a orange bodyweight wig. So the problem was this burgundy wig. So we're going to call my friend Miss Burgundy. And if you want the full story time, go check out my stories times on my YouTube channel, which is linked in my fucking bio. So long story short, this girl, Miss Burgundy, she always wore that hair color. But I'm thinking, like, we friends. I got sent these wigs. They just sent me some wigs. Y'all didn't get to pick the color or none of that. They just sent me these wigs. I'm like, okay, she's been wearing this wig for heck long. I had planned on wearing the other wigs at a later time. I was like, oh, I really want to wear this burgundy wig, this burgundy curly wig. So I was coming up on the point where I was hitting my 1K subscribers on YouTube. And I was like, oh, I really want to celebrate. I want to put on this burgundy wig. Y'all, put on this fucking burgundy wig. Less than 1 minute after I posted that I hit 1K on YouTube and I had this burgundy wig on, her cousin, best friend, comments under my picture and was like, wow, you got the same hair color as Miss Burgundy. So I'm like, okay. I'm thinking like, nothing. I'm not thinking nothing of it. Long story short, and I know I keep saying long story short, but me and her cousin started getting into it under that picture because her cousin felt some type of way that I had this fucking burgundy hair. And I'm trying to figure out, why do you got a problem that I got burgundy hair? Mind you, I be around Miss Burgundy more than you around Miss Burgundy. Like, what are you talking about? You barely around. Mind you, she talk hella shit about you. So I'm confused why you're mad that I got the same color as her. Hair color as her. Like, I'm so fucking confused. And then you trying to talk shit, talking about I'm trying to copy her and be like her under my picture. So I hit my friend Miss Burgundy. I'm like, hey, your cousin under my picture with all this rah, talking about the hair color I got. Trying to talk shit because me and you got the same hair color. I'm confused, friend. We be around each other every day. Why your cousin to me? So I'm trying to tell my friend, like, it just seemed like you and your cousin been having prior conversations about me based off the stuff she was saying under my picture. Talking about I want to be like her and woo and all this. Mind you, y'all, I ain't never want to be like no bitch. I'm not perfect, but bitch, I ain't never wanted to be like no other bitch. Especially not that bitch. Like, no tea, no shade. So, long story short, again, me and my friend Miss Burgundy, we end up getting into it. And she talking hella shit. And I'm like, oh, so you do feel some type of way about me having this burgundy hair. Mind you, y'all, I don't even really feel like the whole situation was about me having burgundy hair. I feel like she was already kind of just mad because me and her started doing YouTube. She started doing other things on YouTube. I was doing story times. Her shit wasn't really taking off. So she started doing story times like me. But her story times wasn't really taking off like mine. So it started to become a thing where it was just like she was trying to compete with me on YouTube. Who can do this? Who can do that the fastest? Who can get the most subscribers? Who can get the most views? And I'm just like, friend, we friends. Like, I would shout her out in my videos, put her on, tell people to go subscribe and follow her. She never did that shit for me. So anyways, eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to be arguing with you and your fucking cousin about a fucking hair color. I wouldn't give a damn if me and my friend went outside and we looked at like twins. We had the same hair color, same outfit. It wouldn't faze me. Now I might be like, damn friend, but it would never make me feel no type of way. You feel me? Especially with a person that I feel like we genuinely friends. Me and this girl fall out, she go on her YouTube trying to talk hella shit about me. That's one thing I hate. Anytime I fall out with a bitch, they always want to talk shit. I ain't never get on the internet and talk shit about no bitch I fell out with. I talk about the facts. Like, okay, we fell out because of this. This is what happened. I talk about a situation. I never talk about a bitch. So, yeah. So I'm like, girl, you're mad over a fucking hair color? She like, yeah, because I don't like matching no bitch. I don't want to be outside looking like no bitch. I just feel like you as my friend, why would you get the same hair color as me? I'm trying to explain to her, like, girl, I got a little sponsorship thing. You know, they send me these wigs for free. I didn't get to choose the color. And, you know, all they said was like, wear the wigs in your videos. And then, you know, we'll see where things go from there. This is when I first started doing content creating. I didn't really know too much. I was just juiced to like somebody reach out to me, want me to promote their shit, get some free wigs. Y'all, a friend of 8 years, we fell out. And that right there just let me know, like, it don't matter how long you've been friends with a bitch, no matter how you be good to a bitch, none of that shit. A bitch will just not like you for you just being you. Because ain't no way I fell out with a friend of 8 years over a fucking hair color. Mind you, I started getting to it with her cousin before I even got into it with her. You feel me? I came to her like, this your cousin, this your friend. Like, why your friend feeling some type of way about me because me and you got the same hair color? You know what I mean? But yeah, just, you got to be careful with friends these days. You just got to be careful with people you let in your space and your energy, because you could be having somebody around you the whole time. They don't even fucking like you. Because to fall out over a hair color means you never really fuck with me. You never really fuck with me. Because that's insane. I wouldn't give a fuck if me and my friend had the same color, same outfit, nothing. Like, we're still two different people. We didn't look nothing alike, nothing at all. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't see no problem with it. If me and my friend had the same hair color, I'm gonna be like, oh, twinsies. Like, we the baddest twinsies out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I fell out with a friend of 8 years over a fucking hair color, y'all. Because the bitch was just mad because we had the same hair color. Mind you, she had been wearing this hair color for motherfucking a whole fucking year. Like, bitch, you don't own the fucking hair color, ho? Like, she thought she just fucking owned this hair color and I couldn't wear the hair color because she was wearing the fucking hair color. Switch it up, bitch. Fuck.
Story time of how my now ex-best friend left me at a bar by myself in Vegas on my birthday, then proceeded to block me and steal my favorite swimsuit. Everything about this trip was so whack. So for backstory, I had been talking to her about wanting to do a trip for my birthday for the last like 2 months. And at first I was thinking about doing Miami because my birthday landed over spring break and it also landed on a Friday, so we could do a whole weekend. But I had been talking to her about this for months and this was not like a last minute thing. So then we were getting more realistic and Miami was gonna be expensive, so we were brainstorming other options. She was the one that brought up Vegas, and I was like, you know what, hell yeah, let's do it. The guy that I was dating at the time, I say at the time like it wasn't like 2 weeks ago, he had good deals with a hotel there, and so a room would be taken care of. We'd get a really nice room. So that was the plan. It was gonna be Vegas, and my birthday was Friday, so we'll go Friday through Sunday. And for the most part, it sounded like that was the plan. Then as I kept talking to her more about it, she started to kind of trail off a little bit. And she is the type of friend that's very flaky and doesn't like to go out or just always bails on plans, which is whatever, because that's who she was. And I didn't really like going out at the time either, so it wasn't a huge deal. But then when she started kind of trailing off, I could tell she was gonna try to get out of it or like whatever, try to bail. And I wasn't trying to deal with that, so I started hitting up some of my other friends. But at this point, it was like a week and a half before my birthday, so it was really last minute. So I just knew some shit was gonna go wrong, so that's where I started hitting up my other friends. For context, I live in LA, and I hit up one of my best friends from Utah. I hit up one of my best friends from Utah, and for the most part, she was like, you know what, hell yeah, I don't have anything this weekend, let's do it. Kind of last minute, but she came through. And then I invited another one of my friends from LA, and she said that she would be able to make it, but probably like on Saturday because she was working, like Friday, whatever. So at this point, I wasn't really talking to my friend. I was just banking on the fact that she was gonna bail because she was kind of just acting weird about it. And as in acting weird, I mean, when I told her that we would have the room taken care of, we were gonna get a penthouse suite, like a really nice room, and for some reason, she started having an issue with the guy I was dating and was like, is he gonna be there? And was making it weird if he was gonna be there, which he was going to, and he was probably gonna gamble, but honestly, it was kind of up in the air. I was like, I don't know if I wanna do just a girls trip and I could do something with him another time or whatever. So she made it weird if he was gonna be there, and she felt like he kind of bailed on plans every now and then, so she ew. And she was also saying that her sister's birthday was the next weekend. And so she was like, let me see if maybe I can take her to Vegas. She was turning 16. She's like, let me see if I could take her to Vegas. But her birthday was the next week. I don't know. So she was like, let me see what I can do. But at this point, I wasn't even banking on her coming. And I was like, if you want to come, you can. But I already have plans with my other friends. It sounded like you didn't really want to go. And you were complaining about the guy I was dating being there, even though we weren't going to see him. If anything, I would see him later. Like, we would go out, do our own thing. He would not be there. And even if he was, it was my fucking birthday. So why? I don't know. So it just seemed like she kept making excuses. Then she ends up telling me that she's going to do a trip with her mom and her sister, and they're going to go on like Wednesday through Saturday morning. And I was like, okay, like, fun. Like, that clearly is not a trip where I'm included. So I just was like, okay, like, cool. She also was making a big deal about like she doesn't like going out. So it was my birthday weekend. I was going to want to go out. So it just, everything she was saying, I was like, I'm not going to bank on it, whatever. So then when she's explaining that she's going to be there with her mom and her sister, she's like, oh, me and my friends are going to go out on Thursday night. You can come with us if you want to come early. But I was like, you didn't want to go out. So you'll go out with them, but you don't want to go out with me? Like, I'm confused. Then she was like, if you do come earlier and you're with the guy I'm dating, then she's like, we could all go to lunch and we could all hang out. And I was like, but you were just making an issue that he was gonna be there. So which is it? So I made my plans with the other friends and was locked in regardless, but I was gonna be there for Friday and she would be there also on Friday. She wasn't staying through the whole weekend. So I was like, okay, well, we can do something on Friday for my birthday. Then she tells me that she booked a show on Friday night at 7:00 when my birthday dinner was gonna be for like the Circus Day, whatever, in Vegas. And she was gonna go with her mom and her sister. She didn't give me any invite. She didn't give me she's like, oh, I'm going to this thing. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll move my birthday dinner. And it was just her. I was just gonna go with just her. Because at that point, I told the guy I was dating, he probably shouldn't come because it's gonna be more of a girls thing. So she affected, oh my gosh. So after she told me that she booked a show for the dinner thing, I was like, am I missing something? Like, you said you didn't want to go out, but you'll go out with your friends. You're going out on Thursday. And then I'm like, okay, you didn't want to go because the guy I'm dating might be there, which is this new issue, I guess. And then all of a sudden we can all kiki it up at lunch. It didn't make any sense. Am I missing something? And so we're both pretty avoidant, and she was very let's just talk about it. She told me that she was uncomfortable with making any plans with the guy that I was dating because he flakes sometimes on me. But when it comes to getting a room or whatever, we would have been solid. So I don't know. I'm like, yeah, he has things come up every now and then, but that has nothing to do with, it just was weird. It was weird. But she was like, no, there's nothing. You're not missing anything. I just wanted to make sure that I could book my own flight, and I wanted to include my family. Actually, let me read her text. She basically just said that she didn't want to put her trust in the guy that I was dating when I was going to get a flight and a room paid for her. And then, but she wanted to celebrate my birthday and her sister's birthday, so she took it upon herself to book a room, book flights, all on her own. Which I was like, okay, that's great. That's great. But she was also leaving on Saturday, so it wasn't a trip for me. I just happened to coincidentally be there. I don't know. So at that point, it was during the week, and I was like, you know what, maybe I could come a day early. I want to hang out with you. Weird energy aside, I want to hang out with you. I wanted my birthday to be with her. And even though she made it weird by bringing all this, even though she made it weird, I was like, okay, I want to spend a day or two with you. So I went out on Thursday, and I was like, would we be able to do stuff all day before I book anything? And she's like, no, yeah, we'll hang out, we'll do stuff. Or she was like, all I have is work from 5 a.m. to 11. And then she wanted to go to lunch with her family, or lunch with her mom and her sister. So I go, and I'm in the Uber getting to the hotel. And she's like, let me send you my itinerary. So then she sends me this whole itinerary from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. and every hour is booked. I thought it was cute. I thought she was making it for me. We'll go do shopping at this place. We'll do it was definitely ChatGPT, whatever. But I was like, oh, is your mom and your sister gonna be there? She's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, in my head, I was like, I don't want to impose on your plans and your trip, but I was already there and everything. So I just was like, hey, whatever, like, we'll go. So I went, I met her mom and her sister. They're great. Like, love them. And it was the day before my birthday. So I was just like, whatever, I don't have expectations and whatever. Like, I'm happy with whatever. But we were doing everything that she planned, what she wanted to do. And I was hanging out with her mom. I was third wheeling with her mom at night. And there was really weird energy throughout the night. Guys would come up and hit on us and stuff, and she would make it a point to make me like look stupid in front of these dudes. Like, she's Latina, and they would be like, oh, do you speak Spanish? And they would look at me and ask if I spoke Spanish, and she's like, no, she doesn't. Like, she's our like white friend. Like, she's our white friend. Before I could even like I was like, ah, okay. And then to another conversation, she was telling some lady like, oh, she doesn't. Okay, part 2 of how my now ex-best friend left me out by myself at a bar in Vegas on my birthday and then proceeded to block me and steal my favorite swimsuit. Anyways, as I was saying before, a lot of conversations that we were having, there was just some weird, like, not like passive aggressive jabs, but like trying to make me look stupid. And we were talking to this one lady, and she was like, yeah, she just doesn't like to work, and I think she just needs to marry rich, find a rich man, and like that's just like her, that's what she needs to do. And I have had, this is another story for another time, but I've been fired a couple times in the last 2 years, and it's felt pretty like out of my control, and it's just been a weird redirecting in my life. So she knows all the drama behind it and like how frustrating it's been. And I just recently had to leave a job because it was affected by the Palisades fires. And so I was like, I like to work, but like, it just was weird. It was just weird energy. Then we go to dinner at night with her and her mom, and I'm third wheeling her and her mom. And every time I would talk, she wouldn't acknowledge me. And she like, I would say something and only her mom would say something to me, and she would like ignore it and then go and start talking to her mom. And it was just weird. And I think there was like an underlying thing where I was still kind of like confused about this whole situation. And like, so maybe that was it. I don't know. The energy was just weird. Cause I'm like, I wanted my friend to be staying with me, and I want like it. So then we're sitting there, like we're ordering food. It was about to turn midnight, and she did get a dessert, and she typed up like a really, really nice thing for my birthday. She told me something really sweet, and it literally made me cry because I was like, I feel like shit right now. I feel like she didn't really prioritize my birthday. The other thing too is she was working from 5 a.m. to 11, and she's able to travel and stuff. So she kept talking about that and just how she was super exhausted, and that also played into her energy. She was just really like tired, and like, so it killed my energy. And I wasn't like, she wasn't trying to turn up. I was literally ready to go to bed and did a cute little happy birthday thing and then went to bed. The next day was Friday, and she was like, oh, you could come to that show or whatever. Like, we could do stuff. I just have to leave for that show. And I told her, okay, well, we can do like a little mini like lunch / dinner, like late lunch, and then do a late dinner. So that's what we ended up doing. We went to, I can't remember where we went, but we went somewhere nice, and she like met the owner or like the chef or something, and he was able to hook it up, and it was just one-on-one. And she just got done telling me that she just got in a fight with her mom. Like, her mom was being rude and trying to put her down, so her energy was again weird. She was just venting all this stuff to me. I have a couple drinks in me, and I was just really hurt, and the vibe was all, like, just has been off the last like 2 days. So I called her out on it. She was venting to me about a situation with a friend that we have in common that she introduced me to, and they fell out. I ended up calling her out because in my head I was like, either I was gonna leave this trip and just act different and probably never see her again and probably not talk to her because I was so like hurt, but I confronted her about it. And that, to me, I'm like, that showed her how much I cared in being able to address it and try and fix it somewhat. I just told her I had been curbing to her schedule, and I came a day early, and I'm having to third wheel with her mom and her sister, and I'm like, I'm imposing on your trip. I'm like, I don't know why you can't stay till Sunday. You're leaving Saturday morning when I wanted this whole trip to be with you. I'm like, my friend from Utah wasn't able to come, so she ended up bailing, and I had another friend coming in on Saturday, and there's a little bit of a backstory with that too, but I was like, the guy I was dating didn't come because you made it so weird. You made it feel so weird. He didn't want to go. So I'm not seeing him. That is another thing that went to shit. And it was because she didn't want him there. For God knows why. And then I'm just sitting here third wheeling with her and her mom, and then her and her 16-year-old sister. Like, as much as as cool as they are, I can't be the only one that's like, this is just weird. Like this is my best friend. Like, this is my best friend. So I'm like, why can't you stay until Sunday? I'm hurt. You don't work. Like, you have the rest of the weekend off. So why? I had a hotel paid for. It's not like you didn't have to pay for your shit. I'm glad that you did, but like, that was not, I would have gotten that shit taken care of. And I literally myself would have paid for her flights because I wanted her to be there. So then, as I explained, like, I've been curbing to your schedule. You made this itinerary for you and your family. I'm imposing on your trip. Kind of explaining to her like what the fuck it was. Like, she was like, I didn't realize, like, I feel really bad, like, let's do a trip, like, I'll make up for it, like, I feel really bad. And I just was like, it's whatever. I'm like, honestly, balls in your court. I'm like, this pretty much damaged, this hurt my feelings. I was like crying when I was telling her this. I'm like, this hurt my feelings. I wasn't expecting this from you. Like, this was the last person I would have expected this from. And just this weird energy, like, I'm shocked. Like, I just am really confused. And I'm not gonna like lie, like I tore her a new one. I was not nice, and I didn't hold back because like my feelings were hurt, and I'm a real bitch, and I tell people when they fuck up, and I keep it real, and I know she respects me for that. So, and it hurt my fucking feelings. So I'm just gonna say it. And I couldn't hold it in anymore because then I'm like, she's leaving for my birthday dinner. I'm having to move my birthday dinner, which she ended up being late. I had to move the reservation from like 8:30 to 10 o'clock at night to do a little dinner. So we ended up hashing it out. We eat, it's fine, we go back. I feel better after telling her, but I know that I was hard on her, so I didn't know how she was gonna take it. So then she goes to the show, and I get ready for the night. And we had talked about going out. I told her that I wanted to go out, but she kept saying she's been up till 5. She doesn't like clubs, and she doesn't like, I'm like, okay. I just stopped saying anything. I just literally became mute and just was compliant to whatever the fuck she wanted to do, because clearly I was asking too much. I was asking for way too much. So then she ends up getting done late, and we meet up for dinner, and we go to catch, and the vibes are just super weird. I'm really hurt. I'm pissed. I just want the day to be over. There was stuff that happened with a guy I was dating. I told him that I wanted him to come when originally, like, it just put a wrench in things. And I just wasn't having a good time. I just wasn't having a good time. Like, it was shitty. It was shitty. There's like a group of girls behind us, and they're like doing this cute countdown for her birthday, like till midnight. And I'm just watching, like, must be nice. Just, I don't even know. One of my other friends, the one from Utah, didn't post me on her story. So she mentioned that. She was like, why didn't she post you on her story? It's like, I don't know, whatever. Like, I actually don't. I'm very understanding of people's circumstances. And with that friend, I was like, she texted me happy birthday, like, whatever. I'm not pressed. She's like, that's like so weird though. She's like, but I'm here, like, we're gonna have fun. And then as it got later, I just was like, I wanted the day to be over. I just wanted the day to be over. So she's making conversation with the waiter, and the waiter had a big crush on me, like, took care of the bill, and like, he was really nice. And we met him from the night before. He's like, come back in for your birthday, like, we'll take care of you. Then as the night went on, I'm just like, her energy, especially when she goes out, like, it's just pretty like dead, and like, I fed off that energy, and I get really like tired, and I just wanted the day to be over. So we're wrapping up, and I'm like, honestly, I'm cool till I go to bed after this. Like, we can maybe go get a drink at a bar before, and then we can just go to bed. Like, that's cool with me. Like, we don't have to go out. Like, I can save that for tomorrow or whatever when my other friend would come in, which I knew she'd be happy about because she's been up since 5 a.m. and I did not want to inconvenience her whatsoever. So then we're wrapping up dinner, and honestly, her and I didn't talk very much because she was talking to the waiter the entire time. And he was doing a good job of keeping up conversation because I wasn't gonna do it. Like, I was in such a bad mood, and I just wanted to go to bed. The guy that I was dating pissed me off. Like, I just felt like it was a shitty birthday. And I couldn't be mad at my other friend for not showing up because I had to invite her last minute. If it were other circumstances and my best friend would have kept it real with me, like I could have had my other friends come with more notice or like gave them more notice. Like it just threw a wrench in my trip revolved around her. Like my birthday revolved around her. So we're walking out and I ended up being like, I need a drink. I was like, let's go to this bar, like check it out. Maybe we can see if people are gambling. Like, let's just see the vibes. So we go to this bar and we sit down and I'm just dead. I'm like, I'm not even gonna act like I was being pleasant to be around. At that dinner and everything, I just was over it. I was over it. And when I'm in a bad mood and when I'm in a bad mood, like I'm not fun to be around. And I'm not gonna make it fun to be around because I'm in a bad mood. So we're sitting at this bar and she's like, this is so boring. Like, let's go to a club. There was a club downstairs that we could have gone to and I wanted to, but the way everything had been playing out and she had drama with her mom and like just everything, I just was like, I am cool. Like, let's just not. I'm like, I want today to be over and I want to go to bed. So then that's when she came clean. She was like, I'm having a hard time ever since we had that conversation at STK. She's like, my feelings are really hurt and I feel like I've gone out of my way and I'm the only friend that's here for you on your birthday and you can't even appreciate that. And I had to tell her like, no, you were bailing and everything and you were switching up on me, so I had to call my other friends last minute. So I actually am not even mad that they couldn't come because you were the original plan and you made shit weird and like you're not even staying for like. But she's like, I'm the only friend that showed up. She's like, even with my mom and my sister, like I made this trip for them and like they're not being appreciative. And I'm like, yeah, that sucks. Like, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what to tell you. But all I know is like, I wanted to be there with her for my birthday on Friday and her booking a show at 7:00 during the time my birthday dinner would have been at alone was like, okay, really? And like no invite or like, do you want to come with, like, not like just everything she was doing just showed me like, oh, okay, like this is, I'm wrong for thinking any different or having any expectations of her whatsoever. And I'm good with people and expectations, but like she literally was my best friend and I've done so much for her and showed up for her that I was genuinely like floored, like jaw to the floor. Then she's like, and then you're saying that I'm wrong for this, but you're the one who was dating a married man. She gets up and she walks away. She left me. Which also, the married man thing is another story for another time. I was dating a guy and found out he was married. But she chose to use that as a dig and then fucking leave me by myself alone at a bar. So I was like, okay, you want to go that low? Like, okay. She did also say something when we were at STK where she's like, this has happened multiple times where like I somehow ruin a friend's birthday or like I don't show up for my friends on their birthdays or something like that. And I'm like, oh, so this is like a common thing. Like you're the common denominator. Like you might be the issue. Like I'm like based off of how you treated me on my birthday, like look in the mirror. So she said that to me, which I was like, oh, okay. She left me, but I was like talking to some guy that was sitting next to me. He was like hitting on me and whatever. So I got a couple more drinks. Then I just went to bed. Well, I didn't go to bed. I like called a couple people and like whatever. It's crazy because I've told her a lot of the stories and things that I've been through and like things that people do to me. And she's always like, people do the weirdest shit to you. Like, why do people screw you over? And like you're so sweet and whatever. And this ended up being like out of all the shit I've been through, like that was a top 3. Like that was, I feel like I've been through worse, but like the intention behind it and like having that be my best friend, like I just genuinely was so blindsided. And I have really good discernment, especially with friends and girlfriends and guys. Like I have good discernment. I never took her as like a jealous friend. She was always very like, she compliments me a lot. She's gorgeous. Like there was no like competition vibes, like nothing. Like I did not see this coming. Like I did not see this coming at all. There's like no repairing this, like I'm good. Like what the fuck was that? Doing that on my birthday is crazy. But then I wake up in the morning and I realize that I left my swimsuit in her hotel room. So I text her and I say, can you leave my swimsuit and my cover up at the front desk so I can grab it? And then she didn't say anything. So I was like, or can you at least give me your room number so I can ask housekeeping to go and get it? No response. And then I ended up doing something else. My other friend flew in, so we were doing stuff. And then I went to go check to see either text or she never responded. And then I looked on Instagram and she had me blocked. This bitch stole my fucking swimsuit. And I told her in the text, I was like, that's my favorite swimsuit. Like, you can leave me at a bar alone on my birthday, but taking my favorite swimsuit, So then she blocked me and that was that. But then my other friend flew in and like I had a time. It was good. That's how birthdays are, I guess. So I just realized even sitting across from her that she lacks awareness, and me trying to explain certain things to her, I think I got in her head a little bit, but even then she was still standing 10 toes on what the fuck she was doing and left me at that bar. So I know I'm not wrong for this shit. Like, everything about that was so weird. So that is that. Happy fucking birthday to me.
Alright, so I got a story time for you girls. So I got into it with one of my really good girlfriends, and not gonna lie, I don't think we're gonna rekindle that friendship. So I had met her from my baby daddy. They went to school together. I scoped her out. I kind of figured, she's not really interested in him. They're just friends. So we became friends. Every time we had a party, we would invite her. Every time she had a party, she would invite us. Boom, whatever. Fast forward, me and him ended up breaking up, and then she ended up breaking up with her baby daddy as well. So the year that me and her started hanging out was 2022. 2022, shit, there's somebody looking at me. I ended up letting her know, like, hey, I actually am moving to Mesquite now, and she's down the street. So she was like, okay, cool. So we ended up being really good friends, and we started going out together. The going out phase in 2022 is fucking wild. Let me just say that. So we started going out. So we would start off with like Saturday nights. And then the following couple weeks, it was like that. And then it went to Friday and Saturday. And then after that, it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was really a problem. I'm not going to lie. She ended up getting with the guy that I had told her back in 2022. I said, baby, he's narcissistic. But if you want to go ahead, then go ahead. I don't know. So she ends up going with him. She ends up dating him, whatever. She gets pregnant with her daughter. Cool. I didn't find that out till later because, mind you, we stopped talking for a long time. Oh, you know what? There's another story to that too. She had cheated. We had went to Puerto Rico. She had cheated on that man, even though he bought her flight ticket. Like, whatever. It was just a principle for me. He ended up getting in contact with me about the whole thing. He's like, hey, are y'all okay? Like, I'm just checking up on y'all. Mind you, he hates me and I hate him. We do not fucking get along. So for him to do that, I knew that took a lot of, like, pride. Him moving a lot of pride to the side just to do that, right? Because I know how men are. So anyways, I was like, I didn't lie to him, but I didn't tell him the complete truth. I was just like, her phone's charging right now because it's dead, but I'll tell her to call you in the morning, right? So I didn't completely say, hey, she's out with another motherfucker right now. No, I just told her, yeah. Anyways, so for the last couple years, he doesn't like me. I don't like him. She ended up having another baby, but last year she ended up confiding in me, telling me that they actually were having a lot of issues, abusive issues, where he was like laying his hands on her type shit. So I told her, I said, don't go back, bro. Like, what are you doing going back? Like, you keep going back. So somehow something happened where she ended up going to the hospital. She ended up finding out that she was pregnant again. So this is baby number 2. I'm doing that because I don't have this finger. But yeah, baby number 2. So they're like back and forth, and I'm telling her, I'm like, bro, like, I'm not gonna tell you nothing no more because at the end of the day, you're not gonna listen to me. Like, somebody that doesn't want to be saved is not gonna be saved. Somebody that doesn't want to change, they're not gonna change, bro. Fuck it. Like, that's all I can say right now. So she was just like, no, it's because, I'm just like, look, I've been in that situation. I mean, not as bad as you, but I get it. she'll call me whenever she breaks up with him. She'll immediately call me. I'm her, I guess you could say, like, I'm her, like, party friend or something. So anytime that something's going on with her and him, she'll call me and be like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, girl, like, first of all, I don't even go out like that no more. I haven't went out. I haven't had a girls' night since, like, October. So I've been clean a couple months. So I was just like, oh, you know, like, whenever she was calling me, I was actually going out a lot with one of my other friends. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go over here, like, if you want to come, like, pull up. And she would be like, okay, like, I'll let you know. Never would pull up. She pulled up on us one time, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. And then whenever, like, I didn't want to hang out with her, or I couldn't hang out with her, she would be like, oh, bro, you always do this. You never want to spend time with me, and da-da-da. And I'm like, bitch, what? Like, you literally are in a whole relationship, and the point of this is the fact that, like, every time you get back with him, you ignore me. You don't do shit with me when you're with him. Like, he, obviously, he has some kind of control over you to where you're like, oh, no, I don't fuck with her, I don't talk to her, whatever. And, yeah, so we're, like, sitting here, we're going back and forth about it. She's like, no, you're fucking selfish, duh. I'm like, what, bitch? I call you when you're with him. I'm pretty sure that's why you never hit me up. Like, I also try to go out of my way to hit you up, to check on you, to make sure you and the kids are okay, and whatever. Like, that's what it is, bro. So we ended up squashing that. And, you know, because I was like, bitch, you're selfish. What the fuck do you mean? Like, at the end of the day, I'm trying to check up on you, and you never answer me when you're with him. It's only whenever you're not with him that I benefit you, right? Because then we can go out together and be, yeah, no, fuck no. Anyways, so I was just like, you know what? Whatever. We ended up squashing it because we have a very sibling-like friendship. So this, it was like 2 weeks ago, I think. She ends up having this, like, get-together. Mind you, this is at her house. And she has, like, 5 bitches that pulled up and taking pictures. And they're having a nice dinner and whatever. And I'm just like, oh, bitch. And I wasn't invited. It's crazy. Because I'm so, quote-unquote, call one of your best friends. Or, like, I'm like, you hit me up whenever you want to go out, but you never hit me up when it's shit like that. But obviously, I'm pretty sure it's because of the fact that her man just doesn't want me in the picture. And that's completely fine. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked up that you didn't invite me to this, even though you say you never have time for any of this shit. So she was like, no, it was I was like, you know what, V? I'm going to just leave that there. Because maybe some friendships are just not worth the hassle. I don't wish you any bad. I wish you well. But, bro, it is like fighting with a fucking toddler when it's with you. And I cannot do it anymore. So I completely blocked her and everything. Because I'm like, I'm not finna sit here and keep doing this shit with you, bro. I'm not. I can't do it. I cannot fucking do it. Fuck that. I cut her off and I haven't talked to her since. Even the messages I sent, I didn't block her number, because if she still needs me, she can still call me, which I fucking hate by myself. But I blocked her on social media because I'm like, nah, you're not finna fucking keep doing this shit to me, right? But it is what it is. Can't be Captain Save a Hoe for everybody. Whatever.